something that I found interesting is, and I think you touched on it, but with the kind of backdrop of it's everybody's fault but yours,
Mm-hmm.
you are the protagonist in this movie, which, you're also the producer and the director and all that good stuff. What I found is, especially in our community, some women have began to, it's like part of their cognitive dissonance in not qualifying for the kind of man that they would otherwise want or they should want is now they've kind of painted that as negative. And they're also pedestalizing men where they can have that authority over. And they how do I put it? The kind and caliber of man that's being celebrated now is the man who adores, pun intended, his service to a woman, adores
Mm-hmm.
his pandering to a woman. I call them kind of attack dogs, right? Who are
Mm-hmm.
at women's beck and call as far as defending their interests, defending their perspectives, almost like he's not a man who's been a man, but instead he's a female apologist. So how do you think that's playing out? How do you think that's playing out where our community is almost like flipping the script and saying, uh, these more these less established, less opinionated, less authoritarian men are actually the better versions of men?
Yeah, it's a manipulation tactic and strategy to reward men that allow them to do and say and behave how they want. It's just a strategy. It's just a technique. A real man would, and then you fill in the blank. It's always the
Right,
things they want to get away with.
right.
They'll never end that sentence with things they're not measuring up to or living or behaving and doing and saying. It'll always be the thing that they want to be allowed to do. A real man wouldn't care what time she comes in with. A real man wouldn't care about the girl's trips. A real man wouldn't care about how she dresses on social media and she can wear what she wants.
Right.
A real man wouldn't be insecure about how many men it's always their definition of men and the types of men that they quote unquote approve of are the men that always agree with them. So once you
Mm.
know this, you don't have to listen. What they're functionally trying to do is create a social clout system or social reward system where men who tell women what they want to hear, men who agree with women, and men who functionally are gay and or are male feminists, any man that falls into that tier who doesn't make me feel bad for my decisions or choices in life, he gets a point. The man who has a standard that I don't live up to, he gets a minus point, -1. A man who won't date women that act like me or dress like me, he gets a -1. The man who says it's fine, he gets a
Yeah,
+1. So
yeah.
all it is just a manipulation tactic to try to control men that can't be controlled. And what they fail to realize is they always end up with men that either don't care about them or men that are fearful of their judgment or men that don't care about them and men who are fearful of their judgment. Those are the only two types of men who base their masculinity on how women define it.
Mm.
That's it. That's how it works. Where it's like, if how do you call him a man if he's scared to ever say anything that you disagree with? He's a male. He's an older male. He's a male feminist. But a man, in order for you to be considered a man, you have to be willing to speak the truth and stand up for what you believe to be right, even when no one else around you agrees with it. And this includes politics. This includes your household. This includes relationships. The guy who's scared to say how he really feels and thinks about things is just a manipulator who's
Mm.
who's just saying and doing what he can as a means to an end to get you to sleep with him, to get you to like him, to get a lot of support amongst the women. Um, and you'll always know who these femme-centric guys are because they always expose themselves when you ask them a simple question. What's 3 things that women are doing in relationships, especially in the Black community? We say, what's 3 things Black women are doing in relationships that they should be doing radically differently that they're doing wrong with men? If they are objective, they'll be able to answer that like nothing. Because if you ask them the reverse and they say, what's 3 things that men need to tighten up on and do a much better job at to love and support and be able to make these relationships work with their women? He'll talk for an hour.
Sure.
But then when you ask him, oh, well, listen, man, you got a very detailed response of clearly things that men are doing wrong and how they're failing. What's the things that women need to do better at? Well, they're killing it with the degrees and they're making money. And I asked, what can they do that they're doing wrong that they can improve on? And that's how you'll know. And I'm saying this for the ladies as well. If you want to know who truly has your best interests, it's not the people who have never told you things you don't want to hear. The doctor who doesn't tell you what's wrong with you, what he finds in a test, because he doesn't want to hurt your feelings, is not trying to save your life. The coach who sees what you're doing wrong in practice and lets you do the same thing in the game is not trying to make you a better player. The teacher that sees that you're getting the test answers on the test wrong and is not correcting you so that he's giving you the impression you're getting an A when you're really getting an F. So it's only the people who are willing to point out lovingly, artfully, tactfully, things that you may need to tweak or enhance with your behavior, your image, your style of communication, and your attitude. Those are the people who actually care about you. So when they're doing tours and they're selling out tickets and arenas and doing all this fun stuff, that's dope. But if he's never told you what you and other women are doing wrong and need to do different, and it's always about what you deserve and how men have failed you, that's a person who's pandering to you and selling you what and telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear and what you need to know. So it's unfortunate, man, because it's a very lucrative market and it's not fun to be on this side and point out things that men and women need to do better. And the shocking part is it's like each side doesn't watch when I'm talking to the other side.